subscribers, Max1836 3 here. And this is the penultimate part of my Quake 4 playthrough, narrated as always. So this is the second last part, part 39. And the next part will be the final level and the final boss fight, final showdown, end of the game. There was a few tough spots in this level. This is the Nexus Core, by the way, that we're on. And yeah, there's a few tough spots. Very shortly, we're going to get sealed into this big room with various hover tanks, light tanks, network guardians. The key to that room is just stay mobile, I would say. There isn't a great deal of health when you go into the room. There's a few health packs and stuff, but that's it. And unfortunately, when I entered the room, I started off with only half. In fact, not even that, only half, like, I don't know what the percentage is, but I only started off with about 50 points of armour. So I wasn't even fully protected, really. But I managed to get through it okay. I did take a few hits, but I got through it. There was a couple of deaths, which have been edited out. Otherwise the video would just be, you know. I try not to include deaths in my videos, unless there's something particularly funny about them. First death, because I mean, as you go into the room, they kind of... It's strange because I don't think there's teleporters as such in the room, but you know, the enemies kind of teleport in, and it's semi-random where they actually start. And the first time I went into the room, and the first light tank basically spawned right on top of my head and just totally roasted me. The second time, I did manage to beat the first couple of light tanks, but then I took way too much damage. I knew I didn't have a hope in hell out getting through the network guardians, so I just reloaded to save. So you will notice the footage cutting slightly here. I'll just suddenly switch weapons. So this was my third attempt at this fight to get through it right, and yeah, managed it. But like I say, just stay mobile. Use your big guns, rockets, dark matter. I suppose even the lightning gun would probably be okay as well. And you'll get through it okay. Just make a couple of saves before you start like I did. So yeah. So yeah, I kind of resorted to the grenade launcher for the Guardians. But you could see that, yeah, that was definitely a bit of a tougher fight, but I got through it okay. There was plenty of supplies lying about the room, as you can see, so you shouldn't be too short of resources to deal with it. I suppose I'm probably just going to talk a wee bit about the makron. This is the final boss fight, because the next video isn't all that long, and it's a fairly... you know, there's going to be weapons and stuff going off somewhere.
I must admit to being envious of you, Corporal Kane. The technology you are witnessing must be truly spectacular.
I'm not too sure how much opportunity I'm going to get to talk during the video, because it will be quite loud and stuff. So I'll just talk a wee bit about it at the moment. But first things first, I do make a... this little scene involves a bit of jumping around and stuff, and I do make a bit of an arse of it. I decided just to include this epic fail, just... well, partially because I thought it was kind of funny, just a total failure. So I did include that. But yeah, the makron, basically the fight takes... I mean, I'll try and talk a bit in the last video if I can, but I don't know how much chance I'll get, because it's difficult to talk through combat and stuff unless I turn the in-game volume off completely. But the makron, it takes part in 3 stages basically. The first part is similar to... I mean, we fought the makron earlier in the game when we were still a marine before we got all strogified, and it's kind of similar to that. You just circle straight around the room, you dark matter room and stuff. Second phase, basically, I suppose you could say, sort of separates from the bottom half of his body, so it almost turns into a hover tank kind of deal. That's a bit trickier, definitely. And you can still take him with the dark matter. Yep. It's a little more difficult to hit him because he is somewhat mobile, so you might want to change to more sort of fast-firing weapons, just to suit your strategy. You also sometimes in frequent intervals will teleport other enemies in to help him. Now it seems to be a bit of a roll of a dice what he actually summons. Sometimes it was just a little, you know, the wee stroke tactical guys or the wee stroke minions. Sometimes they would bring in grunts, even brought a berserker in once, because I did play through the fight a few times just to try and figure out some strategies and stuff, but it's not too bad. I mean, you can usually see the little spawns on the floor, so if you're quick you can grenade them before the enemy materialises, otherwise, you know, it's fine. The third phase is basically destroying the Nexus itself, sort of like a brain-like device, and basically you just need to pummel it. It's got, before you can damage his health, you need to get rid of his shielding, so you just pound his shielding, and then it takes a few seconds for his shield to recharge, so that's when you thump those rockets into him to damage his health, and you basically just, you circle straight around about the room. There will be other strokes going around, hover tanks, berserkers, but you can usually just avoid them. So that's the principle of the fight. It's not all that difficult, but you can die pretty quickly. I'm not too sure what happened here actually. I was climbing up the ladder and then I somehow ended up here. I was a bit confused by that. Just in case you're wondering what I'm doing there. But so yeah, that's kind of the last boss fight in a nutshell. It does take a few minutes. It's a bit more epic. I'll still be around for the last part. I'll hopefully get a few words in, maybe at the end or something. I'll probably upload that probably in the next day or so, couple of days. But that's it, so I will see you in the final part, the boss fight. And until then, thanks for watching as always, and take it easy. See you next time.